We're going to talk about feeding. That's one of the most important things, is making sure that our ball pythons are, in addition to proper husbandry, that they have consistent feeding and feeding schedules, that you give them the right size rodents. I recommend feeding rats rather than mice, because rats have better nutrition. You will notice, if you've been feeding mice and you switch to rats, you will notice your snakes start to grow more. That they will start to put on more weight, because rats are that much more nutritious than mice. But whatever it is, make sure that you use an appropriate size rodent. The prey item should be about equal to the widest part of your snake's body. The majority of mine are eating small or medium rats. My juveniles, I feed them fuzzies, rat fuzzies. But I'm going to put a chart in here as well that you can see. And again, if you want a written copy of our ball python guide, if you would like and subscribe to our channel, let me know an email address or something that I can reach out to you, then I will get you that. And then it has this feeding chart in it as well, because you can also base it off of weight, the weight of your snake. So you can look at that chart and see what that should be and what you should be feeding. You don't want to feed them too big, because that can cause regurgitation, but you don't want to feed too small, because then they're not going to get the nutrients that they need. And use a good food source, because using a bad food source, again, you can introduce parasites and things like that to your enclosure, to your animal. And I recommend feeding frozen, thawed. If you feed live, that's whatever, that's up to you. But I actually know somebody who had a rattlesnake that they put a live rat in, and when they came back, they left it overnight, and they came back the next morning, and the rat had actually killed their rattlesnake. I don't want to see any of my animals harmed, so I feed frozen thawed. And it just eliminates the risk of injury. And they're easier to store, so that you don't have to, you're not constantly going to the pet store. You're not having to raise your own rodents. Let's just be honest, raising rodents is not probably the funnest thing in the world for some. Now, there are some who love that. They enjoy that. That's fine. But that's just not my thing. So, I raise my own dubious for my monitor lizards and things like that, but I'm just not keen on raising rodents. That's just not what I would like to do. So I use frozen thawed. And then as the animal grows, you want to grow your prey with them. And again, you can look at this chart to also see, in addition to what size prey you should be feeding, how often you should be feeding them based on their weight as well.